this is page 267. We're going to talk about writing a good email. So I remember when email was like brand new and it was like, oh, do you have an email address? Of course, now, everything's done by email. And even if you don't use email a ton right now, if you're going to get a job in the business world, email really is the primary means of communication. So you'll want to check your email frequently in college. They'll communicate with you via your official email. Email is very widely used in the business world. So if you're not in the habit of emailing a lot now, you really will probably in your future. Okay? So just like there's rules for writing good papers, there's rules for writing good emails. And there's also, just like there's levels of formality in papers, there's levels of formality in emails. So here is an email to a friend. And I would say an email to a friend is probably on the level of a text message. I would never write one that informally, but I guess it's considered okay. All right, here's a good email to your grandmother. Hi, Grandma. You know that website address you said I'd love? Bummer, I lost it. I thought I surely put that piece of paper in my pocket, but I've looked everywhere and can't find it. Will you send it to me again? Thanks. And here comes a big virtual hug for my favorite person. Okay, good email to your teacher. Hi, Miss Smith. You know that website address you recommended I check out? I was sure I had that piece of paper in my pocket, but now I can't find it. Would you please email it to me? Thanks so much, and I'm sorry for the extra trouble. See you tomorrow. I always feel like a thank you goes a long way in an email. If you notice, you have that in these more formal ones here. Okay? And then your boss. Mr. Stein, you told me about a website that you recommended I check out. Unfortunately, I've lost the piece of paper I wrote that web address on. Could you please email me the address? I'll check out the website right away. Thank you very much. Okay? Some things to remember to make your reader's job easy in your email. It is on a computer monitor or a phone screen, I guess, which is going to be small too. So a couple of things to make it easy to read your emails. You want to keep your sentences relatively short. This is not the time to, pull out some Charles Dickens descriptive passages. You don't want to be wordy. Keep your paragraphs pretty short, double space between your paragraphs so people can easily see that. And you want to use a simple, easy to read font. Okay, so you want to stay away from ones like this. They're hard to read anyway, particularly on a screen. Okay, you want to use something more like that. Notice how the spacing is there, makes it easier to read. Okay. On salutations, they're more formal in a letter, and I would still say if you're writing a formal email to include them. I'm bad about not doing this when I'm writing emails, just because it's kind of in the heading. But in formal emails, I would go ahead and include those, and there are some examples of those. Okay, be careful with your punctuation emails. You don't want to use a lot of exclamation points or any of those dashes, ellipses. You don't want to use a ton of those in emails, just like you wouldn't in any formal writing. Here's an example of someone who used too much. Notice multiple exclamation points, ellipsis points, extra dashes. It's just too much. It makes it hard to read. This one's much better. Now, they still used a dash, still used an exclamation point, but they didn't completely fill the email with the punctuation. Okay? You want to make sure that you use proper grammar, spelling, and punctuation in your email. It's not just an email. And this also applies to any posting that you're going to do on the internet, on forums, group chats. Probably in college you're going to have some format of discussion posts that you're going to have to post for class. And it always, people, when they don't use good grammar and punctuation and spelling in a class, even if it's just in the discussion chat, that doesn't make a good impression. So anytime you're writing on the internet, just be aware of that. Things on the internet don't go away. So any blog post, comments, all those things can be found and linked to you. So you want to make sure you're doing your best, right? Okay, here's some sloppy parts of this. The what's up, which is like a slang term. Cool, do, don't be, worry. There's abbreviations, ellipses. Ugh, it's just awful. It's okay to be casual, but you still want to keep it tidy and not too full of slang and abbreviations. Hey there, Liz. What's up? I'm going to get to practice kind of late because I have to take my sister to the babysitter. So don't be worried. I'll get there whenever I get there. So still nicely punctuated, even though it's casual. Okay. Be careful not to scream in your emails by using all caps. It's okay to capitalize a word here or there, to underline a word or there to make it stand out or emphasize it, but if you use all capital letters, people will feel like you're screaming at them. I've definitely had emails like this that I'm like, what did I do? So make sure you're not screaming at people via email. It's considered very rude. All right, subject titles in your email. Now, when you are in the business world, sometimes there are specific rules to the company to protect privacy about how you're supposed to title your emails. So make sure you follow those. Make sure that you are clear in what it is, because there are a lot of phishing schemes out there, right? Scams. And so try to be clear and specific about your email in your email title. And that'll be helpful to, your reader. Also, some people, if your title doesn't seem like something that they're interested in, some people don't open a lot of their email and they'll just ignore it. So you want to make sure your title is clear, okay? All right. Email is a fast way to communicate, but you want to actually include enough information so that people can understand what you're saying, okay? So here's an unclear example. Could you please send info on your state? Well, what kind of info do you want? There's an abbreviation. There's a U instead of the word you. So it's not clear. My class is studying the history of Virginia. My project is on the historic battlefields in the Shenandoah Valley. Could you please send me some information or refer me to good websites? Thank you very much. Much clearer, much more specific. Okay, unclear and not very sweet. Hi, Grandma, we're still on. See ya. Be much better to say, hi, Grandma, we're still on for lunch on Saturday. We'll be at your house at noon. Can't wait to see ya. Okay, sounds rude. Tomorrow at 10. All right, much better. Thanks for your quick reply. Tomorrow at 10 is great. See you then. Again, abbreviations are easy to use too many and be confusing and not clear. Also, some people don't know them, so make sure that you don't use too many abbreviations, okay? I don't even know that I would say ta-ta for now in an email, but stay away from too many abbreviations. It's kind of like LOL. Don't people get tired of seeing that? Right, because people use it too often. All right, here are a few of the abbreviations so that people like to use. I wouldn't use these in formal emails by any means, but those are some examples of them. All right, don't use too many emojis. Emojis are fine in text message, and we like them because it helps to convey body language, facial expressions, and so forth. And since we can't use body language or facial expressions in the email, they use smiley faces and so forth. And they have their place, right? All right. But it does make it seem silly. I'm so smiley with my new puppy. I'd be mighty. Let me have this frowning face. If he chews Mom's new sofa, I think I'll suggest to him that he not. Winky face. I'm so happy with my new puppy. And he put one in there, and that might be good. I sure hope he doesn't chew on Mom's new sofa. I think I'll suggest to him that he not. And again, know your audience. Who are you emailing? Are emojis going to be okay? Or do you need to have a more formal tone? So emojis are not considered to be formal. So just kind of be aware of that. Okay. Smileys are called emoticon icons. Using a few in an email to a friend is not a problem. But using them in a business-like emails or using them when you're trying to create a good first impression, not a great idea. Not everyone understands them or likes them. And that definitely, I think, is one of those generational things. All right, so there are some examples of emoticons that you may see in emails. Again, I would not use them in formal emails, okay? So spelling can be a problem in email. I feel like most email has spell check now, but make sure that you do spell check, okay, and that you double check. And also check for those words that are easily misspelled, like theirs, the rights, any of those words that we have trouble with, you want to check them. Also, one problem I've had with my email is it doesn't spell check the title of your email. So I've sent a typo in a title of an email, and I was really embarrassed, but it happens. Okay. And also, I think it's fine if you do have a typo to follow it up and say, oh, sorry. Because sometimes when I'm typing, I don't notice it until after I've sent it. It's like you click send and then you see it. So I always follow up with, sorry, I misspelled that. It happens. But try to proofread, particularly for those that you're sending. Okay? All right. When not to write emails, I still think it's nice to send actual thank you notes. And they're saying too, like if you go to a business interview, it's sometimes good to send a handwritten note that it makes you stand out from the crowd. So handwritten letters still have their place. Emails are not everything. So still consider sending a thank you note and as an actual handwritten note. It is more meaningful, right? It took time. So consider that. All right. Thanks for listening to my little chat here about email. Hopefully you understand email a little bit better and you'll be able to use it in a way that will present yourself well in the future because people will judge you on your email, right? So I think it's always best to be more formal and to be clear and just be careful with your email. Consider your tone when you're writing, okay? And double check them. All right. Talk to you all later.